Hi, my name is Katie. My two vice chairs will be Say and Habiba, and we are COP, or the Conference of Parties. Our two topics are global governance of geoengineering and building adaptation capacity for vulnerable communities. Especially after the landmark agreement in Paris, I think that the Conference of Parties has really come into the forefront of the climate change debate. Overall, in the scope of global problems, I think climate change is going to be one of the most pressing issues that comes up in terms of international politics, just because of the scope and size of people that will be affected. So in terms of the kind of climate change news that you would get in your day-to-day news coverage, it's mostly focused on mitigation. So that's limiting the amount of emissions that countries have. But two aspects of the climate change solution scope that are ignored are geoengineering and vulnerability in terms of building adaptation capacity. So adaptation is very important because it deals with some of the inevitable effects of global warming. Because of the amount of emissions that we've already had, countries and specifically communities will experience the effects of climate change no matter what. So adaptation addresses how we make it so that these communities can survive after the effects of climate change are felt. In terms of geoengineering, it's one of those solutions that's very topical just because it's contentious. It has a moral aspect that different countries will have differing opinions on. Overall, countries have to work together in the climate change scope, but the prospect of a solution like geoengineering can make very different cost and benefit aspects for different countries. And as a environmental science and poli-sci double major, the topics that we'll cover are very in line with what I study day to day. In committee, I plan on having two guest speakers who are really on the forefront of the geoengineering debate. So this will make geoengineering overall a easier topic for us to tackle as a committee and give you some interesting insights from people who are working in the field. I think that something that you'll find really helpful is really digging deep into what effects from climate change your country specifically will have, whether it be drought, extreme weather events, flooding. That will greatly impact not only what adaptation building that your country will have to do, but also how they could be affected by different geoengineering solutions. This is my first year as a head chair, so I'm very excited for Bmun 65, and we'll see you there.